Making headlines, the National Council on Mosques issues a rule requiring the formation of a mosque committee in every island to monitor the conditions of mosques daily. Ministry of Islamic Affairs revealed that the development of Islamic centers in Diddu Island and Adu City will be completed by next year. And Minister of Social and Family Development Dr. Shiham disclosed that 22 children who were under the state's care have been united with families.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum. Welcome to PSM News in English with me, Hafiz Abdul Sattar. And now the news in detail. The National Council on a Mosque issued a rule requiring the formation of a mosque committee in every island to monitor the condition of mosque daily. With the gazettement of this rule, the rules of the National Council on Mosque, which came into force in 1987, has been repealed.
The rules of the National Council on Mosques were formulated under the Protection of Religious Unity Act. According to the law, the Ministry of Islamic Affairs will be responsible for the affairs of mosques and imams who express religious slogans in different islands of Maldives. Under these rules, a mosque committee should be formed in every island to monitor the day-to-day condition of the mosques. In addition to establishing a system to continuously monitor the condition of mosques with the assistance of this committee, all mosques should be held to the same religious standards. Under the rules of the National Council on Mosques, it is the responsibility of the Council to give advice to the Minister on matters relating to mosques and imams, as well as to advise the Minister on matters requiring reform. The Council will also advise the Minister on maintaining the dignity of mosques, ensuring their cleanliness, and on the construction and repair of mosques. The rule states that the National Council on Mosques will be formed by the Minister and should have 7 members. They are the Chief Imam appointed by the President, the head of the Mosque Management Section of the Ministry, the head of the National Center for the Holy Quran, the person appointed by the Ministry of Cities, Local Government and Public Works, a person designated by the Ministry of Culture and Heritage, and a member of the public appointed by the Minister.
Ministry of Islamic Affairs reveals that the development of Islamic centers in Diddu Island, in Halif, Atoll and Hitadu in Adu City will be completed by 2025.
Speaking to PSM News, Minister of Islamic Affairs Dr. Muhammad Shahim Ali Said stated that the development of the Islamic Center in Hitadu is well underway. The minister stated that discussions with contractors are ongoing to expedite the completion of the project and added that preparations are underway to put the roof slab of the center. The development of the center started last year on a land area of 40,000 acres. The center will have the capacity to accommodate 1,500 worshippers, a multipurpose hall with the capacity of 450 individuals, 4 classrooms, 2 seminar rooms, an administrative office and a library. Mr. Shahim anticipates that the Islamic Center will be completed by November 2025. Meanwhile, Mr. Dr. Shahim affirmed that the establishment of the Islamic Center in Diddu was going at a fast pace. The minister disclosed that the project is going as per the schedule, noting that the center development will be completed by June 2025. The 2-story building will have the capacity to accommodate 1,500 people, a multipurpose hall with the capacity of 450 people, 4 classrooms which can accommodate 30 students, 2 seminar rooms, Islamic library and an office. The project is worth $3.3 million. During the interview, Mr. Dr. Shahim shed light on the development of the Quran Center in Formless City as well. The minister revealed plans to hold discussions with contractors to expedite the works of the project, adding that the project is expected to be completed by March 2025. The development of the center started in 2022 and is worth $778,000. The center will feature an auditorium, a meeting room and a library as well.
Minister of Social and Family Development Dr. Shiham discloses that 22 children who are under the state's care have been reunited with families. The government has been asserting several efforts to create a safe and secure environment for children, ensuring they receive the necessary familial affection and care. In an interview with the PSMNEWS, Minister Aishat Shiham noted a positive shift in societal attitudes towards fostering. The minister highlighted that increased awareness about fostering has generated interest among families and couples while willing to provide homes for children. As a result, 22 children have been successfully united with foster families, and an additional 22 are currently undergoing the relevant procedures before they are united with families. Furthermore, Minister Aishat Shiham emphasized that this year has seen the lowest number of children in state care to date. Currently, there are 167 children residing in 14 different centers under government supervision. Experts have indicated that despite the efforts of fostering centers, the care and affection provided by families cannot be fully replicated. Therefore, the government is committed to expediting the process of placing all children under state care with suitable families. Maldives Meteorological Service Met Office is working to identify the damage caused by the bad weather conditions and establish a warning system that will alert the islands separately. This was revealed by the Minister of State for Climate Change, Environment and Energy, Ibrahim Imra, while speaking on a program of PSMNEWS.
Stating the work to set up the warning system is currently ongoing, Mimrah noted that the impact-based forecast would help predict the damage caused by the weather and issue warnings to individual islands. He also added that a separate warning system for islands, as well as a flood warning system that will provide immediate notice of storms in different parts of the country, was installed at the Met Office last week. Furthermore, the State Minister stated that the administration will be developing a building for the Met Office in Addo City, with the same level of advanced facilities as the Met Office building in Hurule. He added that the new building will further enhance the weather forecasting work in the south of Maldives. The Maldives Meteorological Service celebrated its 50th anniversary on August 1st. The agency, which used to do weather forecast for 4 hours, can now forecast the weather for 24 hours. At the same time, branches of the Maldives Meteorological Service have been established in 5 regions of the country.
The Maldives immigration is deporting 6 immigrants for violence. Immigration revealed that 6 expatriates who were involved in a fight was handed over to the authority by the Maldives Police Service MPS. As per the Immigration Act, the visas of all 6 expatriates will be revoked and they will be deported from the country. The authority has made public the pictures of the 6 foreigners, which include a 26-year-old, a 27-year-old, 2 29-year-olds, a 38-year-old and a 40-year-old. It is alleged that the 6 foreigners were involved in a violence fight that took place in the capital Male City this week. While 2 were injured and treated at the Indira Gandhi Memorial Hospital, MPS revealed that 5 of the men involved were taken into custody. The government is making strategic efforts to tackle the issue of illegal immigrants in the country, with the Maldives Immigration and the Maldives Police Service collaborating to conduct a special operation to track down illegal immigrants. The government aims to expand this operation across all islands nationwide within the next year and targets to solve the issue of illegal immigrants completely within 3 years. Immigration notes that the deportation process of the detained expatriates is underway. Managing Director of FICA Corporation Limited, Muaz Muhammad Rashid, states that the payments for the services to some islands remain pending, with outstanding bills totaling over $32 million.
Speaking at a press conference, Managing Director Muaz explained that services rendered to 29 islands have not been billed due to the absence of permits from the Utility Regulatory Authority (URA). Noting that discussions with the URA are ongoing to address the billing for these services, Muaz stated that FICA is yet to receive $32.5 million from those respective islands. During the press briefing, the Chief Finance Officer (CFO) of FICA, Mohammad Masood, reported that the unbilled amount of $32.5 million was outstanding as of the last quarter. The CFO further detailed that this sum includes overdue bills totaling $24.6 million. He assured that measures are being undertaken to facilitate the payment process for those with overdue bills, aiming to make it more convenient for them to settle the bills. FICA Corporation provides its services to 86 islands across the nation. FICA aims to pay off its debt, which stood at $279 million when the current administration took over by 2027, and make the company fully profitable. The company, running at a loss until the last quarter of 2023, posted profits from operating expenses in the last 2 quarters.
Maldives Ports Limited MPL reveals plans to commence water bunkering services in Turakunu in Halif Atoll.
The company has indicated that preparations are actively underway to establish these services. An important meeting was held focusing on the developmental projects. The meeting was attended by the Chief Executive Officer, CEO of MPL, Mohammed Wajih Ibrahim, along with some members of the management and members of Turakun Island Council. During these discussions, CEO Wajih conveyed optimism that the launch of international bunkering services on the island would generate numerous employment opportunities for local residents. The meeting also addressed the broader scope of maritime developments in the northern islands. In addition to setting up the water bunkering facility, MPL and the Turakun Council have formalized an agreement to create a yacht marina and enhance maritime services at the island. Speaking to PSMNEWS, MPL disclosed that the water bunkering services will be designed to supply water vessels docking at the island. As requested by the Island Council, a floating barge will be deployed to Turakun to facilitate these services. While efforts are underway to expand economic growth, the government has taken several initiatives to ensure that the northern islands are a key economic hub which contributes to the nation's overall economy.
Housing Development Corporation HDC orders to remove the chairs and tables set up on the payments by cafes and restaurants to provide services to be removed. This is the 3rd time the corporation has issued this order. The corporation first asked the businesses to remove these items from the payments in November 2023. Following the failure of the businesses to do so by the deadlines, HDC issued a second statement asking the removal of these items in July this year. However, they were not removed by the deadline once again, releasing the 3rd statement issuing the removal of the chairs and tables set up on the payments by cafes, restaurants and takeaway points. HDC stated that the corporation will be removing the items and cleaning up the places if they are not removed by the new deadline, August 10th. HDC states that the corporation will not be responsible for any damage incurred to the properties during the process. Furthermore, the corporation notes that setting up chairs and tables on the payments to provide services is prohibited. The Iraq has officially launched the CME-V6 submarine cable landing in the Maldives, marking a historic milestone as it becomes the first Maldivian digital service provider to join as a co-owner of a global submarine cable consortium.
The official inaugurating ceremony of SMW6 took place at Hurumale Phase 2. The chief guest of the function was the Minister of Cities, Local Government and Public Works, Adam Sharif Umar. Additionally, special invitees from the government were also present at the event. Speaking at the event, Minister Adam Sharif Umar praised the Iraq for its pivotal role in advancing the nation's digital growth and transformation both locally and globally. The minister highlighted that the SMW6 submarine cable will provide the Maldives with direct access to multiple internet exchange points, thereby reducing dependency on any single country for global network connectivity. Meanwhile, Chief Executive Officer of the Iraq, Ismail Rashid, stated that connecting the digital network to the SMW6 submarine cable system is a significant step towards establishing the nation as a global digital hub and increasing the resiliency of the country's digital backbone. This access to key digital hubs across the world will play a pivotal role in providing higher speeds of digital connectivity, reduce latency, and decrease the cost of our internet services in the future. The SMW6 submarine cable system is expected to be completed in early 2026. In 2021, The ROC entered into a consortium with 16 global telco and techno companies to be a co-owner of this international system. This significant investment by the ROC will provide the Maldives with direct access to key global internet exchange points and data centers, strengthening the country's international connectivity. It will also improve the quality and resilience of services provided by the company to consumers and businesses, fueling the future growth of digital services across the country. The ROC continues to spearhead the Maldives' digital transformation, empowering communities to embrace future technological advancements. The SMW6 submarine cable system is a global superhighway connecting Southeast Asia, the Middle East, and Western Europe at 11 countries from Singapore to France with the latest undersea cable technology. This 19,200-kilometer long submarine cable system has a minimum transmission speed of 100 Tbps.
The Bank of England cut its main interest rate for the first time since the COVID pandemic broke out in 2020, as British inflation has retreated in recent months.
In a tight 5-4 vote, BOE policymakers agreed to reduce borrowing costs by a quarter point to 5.0%, the central bank announced following a regular meeting. Governor Andrew Bailey joined 4 other policymakers in bringing the rate down from a 16-year high, which will ease pressure on borrowers while denting interest earned by savers. Retail banks tend to mirror the direction of BOE policy when settling their own interest rates. Britain's annual inflation rate has returned to the BOE target of 2% after soaring to a 4-decade high above 11% in late 2022. Britain's rate cut comes less than 1 month after the country elected a new government. The centre-left Labour administration has vowed to grow the UK economy, but has already warned that state spending will be hampered by tight finances. The new Finance Minister Rachel Reeves said that Britain's state coffers faced an extra $28 billion hole inherited from the previous Conservative government. Reeves said the scale of the overspend was not sustainable and that not acting was simply not an option for her newly elected government headed by Prime Minister Keir Starmer. The Conservatives said this indicated tax rises were on the way.
The presidents of Brazil, Mexico, and Colombia calls for Venezuela to release detailed voting tallies amid a dispute over presidential election results that has sparked protests.
Venezuela's Electoral Council proclaimed Maduro, who has been in power since 2013, the winner of the July 28 election with 51% of the vote. But the country's opposition says its tally of about 90% of the votes shows its candidate Edmundo González received more than double the support of the incumbent president, in line with independent polling conducted before the contest. The opposition has released detailed tallies on a public website, but the government has so far not shared any information beyond a national total of votes for each candidate. The current presidents of Brazil, Colombia, and Mexico have traditionally been friendlier with Maduro and have adopted a more neutral stance on the election, as countries around the world call for release of full tallies, and the US said Maduro should acknowledge a González win. In a joint statement, Brazil, Mexico, and Colombia called on the electoral authorities in Venezuela to move ahead quickly and let itemized ballot box level results be known publicly. Results should be verified impartially, the countries said, and all political actors should avoid an escalation of violence, and electoral controversies should be solved via institutions. In response to election-related criticism, Venezuela has expelled diplomats from Argentina and 5 other countries: Chile, Costa Rica, Panama, and the Dominican Republic and Uruguay. Caracas and Lima expelled each other's diplomats after Peru recognized González as Venezuela's elected president. The United States on Thursday recognized Maduro's opponent and opposition candidate González as the winner, rejecting the Venezuelan president's victory claim. The disputed election has led to deadly protests that Maduro and his allies in the military have denounced as an attempted coup. Human Rights Watch said it had received reports of 20 deaths in post-election demonstrations. Major government figures including Maduro have said Gonzalez and high-profile opposition leader Maria Corina Machado should be held responsible for the anti-government protests, with some going as far as to call for their arrests.
Mexican Football Federation FMF presents Javier Vasco Aguirre and Rafael Marquez as the new coach and assistant coach of the Mexican national soccer team.
This is his third stint in the role. He previously led Mexico in the 2002 and 2010 World Cups. As he leads the team towards the 2026 World Cup, Marquez was named as his assistant, with plans for him to later assume the lead role for the 2030 tournament. Aguirre has led Mexican teams Monterrey, Pachuca, and Atlante, as well as Spanish teams Mallorca, Legends, Atletico de Madrid, Osasuna, Espanyol, and Real Zaragoza. He was also the coach of Al Wahda in the United Arab Emirates. They will debut with the Mexican team at a friendly match against New Zealand on September 7, followed by a match against Canada 3 days later.
Millennial gamers soaked up the nostalgia and embarked on fresh adventures in a land of orcs, mages, and elves as World of Warcraft came back online in China.
Beloved titles from the fantasy epic to shooting game Overwatch went offline in China in January 2023 after a contract dispute between the American developer Blizzard and local partner NetEase, prompting a wave of mourning and anger from fans. But the two firms reached a new deal this year, announcing the titles would return to Chinese screens sequentially, starting with World of Warcraft on August 1st. Massively popular worldwide, particularly in the 2000s, World of Warcraft is an online multiplayer role-playing game set in a fantasy world where good battles evil. It is known for its immersive and addictive gameplay, and players can rack up hundreds of hours of game time. The return of Blizzard titles is a welcome boost for NetEase, which, like many of the country's tech giants, has had a rough few years after a government crackdown on the industry.
And that's all we have for this hour. Thank you for watching. Wish you all a very pleasant day ahead.